Have you ever heard of the saint that was just a girl? Saint Thérèse of Lisieux, also known as the Little Flower, is one of the most beloved saints in modern history. She couldn't perform heroic fasting or go on dangerous missions to show her love for Christ, so she developed her own little ways, which has inspired millions worldwide. Marie-Françoise. Thérèse Martin was born in 1873 in Alençon, France. She is the youngest of 9 children, of whom 5 survived, all becoming nuns. Her childhood was marked by deep sensitivity and grief. Her mother died of breast cancer when she was 4 years old, leaving Thérèse with a clingy and fragile temperament. Her father then moved the family to Lisieux, where she grew up surrounded by love. She was gentle, emotional, and very attached to her father. As a child, Thérèse loved prayer and had a deep affection for God, but she struggled with emotional sensitivity. She would cry over the smallest things. At the age of 10, she fell seriously ill after her sister, Pauline, who was like a second mother to her, entered a Carmelite convent. Doctors couldn't explain her illness, but during this time, Thérèse had a vision of the Virgin Mary smiling at her. And from that moment, she was instantly healed. She always considered this a miracle. On Christmas Eve, around 1886, after she returned from Mass, her father made a strange comment about Thérèse's childish excitement over Christmas traditions. On a normal day, she would have burst into tears. Instead, she held her tears and felt a surge of strength, what she called the complete conversion. From then on, she became much more stronger and deeply focused on loving Jesus. At just 15 years old, Thérèse felt a calling to become a Carmelite nun. But she was too young. She had to be at least 16 to join, but she was determined. She even traveled with her father to Rome to personally ask Pope Leo XIII for permission to join early. After some time, her wish was granted, and she entered the Carmel of Lisieux in April 1888. Inside the convent, life was strict, quiet, and focused on prayer, humility, and sacrifice. But Thérèse didn't seek grand acts of holiness. Instead, she wanted to serve God through small acts of love and kindness. This became known as her famous little way. Thérèse taught that you don't need to do great things to become a saint. Instead, she believed in doing small things with great love, smiling even when tired, forgiving others quickly, and trusting completely in God's mercy. Her simple spirituality, humility, and love made holiness feel accessible to everyone. At the age of 22, Thérèse began coughing up blood, the first sign of tuberculosis. She suffered through a year of immense physical pain and a night of faith, where she felt a crushing sense of doubt about the existence of heaven. Despite the pain, she never complained. She offered her suffering to God for the salvation of souls and continued to write about her love for Jesus. Before she died on September 30th, 1897, she promised, "I will spend my heaven doing good on earth. I will let fall a shower of roses." Thérèse believed that her work wouldn't end when she died. Instead, it would truly begin. The roses she promised are widely interpreted as answered prayers and graces from God. Thousands of people claim that after praying a novena, a 9-day prayer, to Saint Thérèse, they unexpectedly receive roses. This might be a bouquet from a friend, a single rose on a sidewalk, or even a rose appearing in a place where it shouldn't be. Others report a sudden, overwhelming fragrance of roses in a room where no flowers exist, often at a moment of deep grief or when they are seeking a sign of hope. After her death, her autobiography, The Story of a Soul, was published. The book became incredibly popular around the world, touching millions of people with her message of love and simplicity. Miracles were reported through her intercession, and she was canonized as a saint in 1925 by Pope Pius XI. In 1997, Pope John Paul II declared her a doctor of the Church, one of the youngest ever to receive that title, showing that her little way carried deep wisdom. Today, Saint Thérèse of Lisieux is known as the patron saint of missions, even though she never left her convent, patron saint of France and the patroness of florists and aviators. Have you ever experienced your own miracle after praying to Saint Thérèse to intercede on your behalf? Share your stories, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's create a community where we can learn more about the stories and histories of saints. Thank you for watching this video.